Okay, Reese.
Can we start the class? Because it is going to be less than 1 hour. So today we are going to talk about, like, see about re-education of muscle strength. Okay, so this particular topic, we don't have much of uh, like, we have practicals, but we don't, like, this is, we are just going to recollect whatever we have learned in previous semester and this semester. So we don't have a separate it is not a separate technique. It is it is to show you how to bring stimulate the muscle. Is that clear? So it is just a review class, so we are not going to learn anything new. It's just a review class. Okay, so I will just demonstrate, or I'll just tell you how to improve the muscle power from muscle power 0 to muscle power 5. So whenever a muscle is weak, we just we just say that the muscle may be paralyzed, or the muscle may be like not able to do the movement. So paralyzed means, like, you have two words to explain. One is paralyzed. Paralysis means complete loss of the ability of a muscle to contract. That means the paralysis means, like, whenever the problem is above the anterior horn cells. Like, you would have learned all these things in theory in detail. So I'll just brush up a little bit and go into practicals. So weakness means, like, when the muscle power, maybe you can say when the muscle power is from 1 to anything between 3 or 4, then we call it as weak. So this is your paralysis. Okay, so paralysis is like completely zero. The muscle power will be completely zero. But paralysis means the muscle power will be between 1 to 3, something like that. So that is your paralysis. So in other term, like, you can also see whenever there is some problem with the muscle, the problem may be in the pathway of the nervous system. So the pathway will be in between from the muscle to the anterior horn cell, and above from anterior horn cells to brain. So when it is from anterior horn cells to brain, it is called as upper motor neuron lesion. And during if there is any problem in the upper motor neuron, then the particular muscle will end up in spastic paralysis. Okay, spastic means increased muscle tone. Whenever the problem is below the anterior horn cells, So anterior horn cells to the muscle, then it is called as locomotor neuron lesion, and that particular lesion will lead to flaccid paralysis. Is that clear? So when your upper motor neuron is affected, then you end up in spastic paralysis. When lower motor neuron lesion, then you end up in flaccid paralysis. Is that clear? So then if there are some other disease also that will be affecting the muscle. It is not only your nerves, but also there is other problems that may end up in uh, loss of contractility of the particular muscle. Exactly. So the other paralysis will be like other problems would be like anything that is affecting the muscle, maybe like the reduced dopamine, maybe reduced calcium channels, or the degeneration of the muscle. So a lot of other problems is also there. So for treatment, you will first we need to see, like whenever you want to treat this muscle problem. So one is you want to prevent certain things, then you need to improve certain things. So prevent means you need to prevent muscle wasting, because whenever the muscle is not in use, definitely it will end up in wasting. So when a person is coming to you with inability to move a particular muscle, then you have to just check whether then you have to first see, you need to do certain techniques to prevent the muscle wasting, because this is not going to get treated in 1 or 2 days. It will be taking some time for the muscle to improve. So in that case, like, you need to first prevent the muscle wasting, then you need to improve the muscle power. Okay, so both will be going side by side. So that means both will be going hand in hand. It is not this one first or that one first, both should be going hand in hand. If you don't do this prevention, then you will not, even though if you are giving some techniques to improve the muscle power, later you may end up in like wasting of the muscle power. There is no muscle fiber at all, then it will be difficult for you to improve the muscle power. Is that clear? So these are the two techniques you are going to do. So one is you are going to do some techniques to prevent the muscle wasting. The other one is you are going to do some techniques to initiate the muscle contraction. Okay, so to prevent the muscle wasting, you can use certain splints and supportive devices. So that is nothing but like okay, I'll try to find out some pictures to show this. So these are some devices like your braces and your it's like braces. So it will be just supporting the whole muscle, and it will help you to prevent the wasting. It will be helping in a manner to prevent or protect the overstretching of the muscle. Okay, so for example, it will help you to prevent foot drop. Okay, so you have certain supportive devices that is used to that can be either dynamic or that can be static. So dynamic means like it will be doing some movement and it will be helping. Static means it will be just as a act as a support. Okay, so in detail of the support splints and braces, you will be learning in your ortho. I think you will be learning in your MSK too. Okay. So next thing you have to do is you can do lot of active exercises. So in last semester you have learned something called passive exercises, active exercises. In active exercises you have something called assisted active exercises, self-assisted active exercises, active resisted exercises. So you can use all those techniques to prevent the muscle wasting. Then another thing is you can also give something called contrast bath. So this contrast bath you would have learned in your electro. So contrast bath is nothing but you will be applying some cold pack, then immediately you will be applying hot pack. Okay, so that is called as contrast bath. So you will apply cold, then you will apply hot. Like that you will be alternating both. So this will help you to increase the circulation and this will help you to, whenever there is increase in circulation, there is increase in nutrition. Okay, so these are the methods to prevent muscle wasting. Then next is like passive movement you will be giving to maintain the ROM. Then, in case if the muscle is having little bit muscle power, in case the muscle is having muscle power more than 3, then you can give resisted exercises. For the resisted exercises, then for the normal side, you have to give resisted exercises. Okay, so for example, if right side of your upper limb is affected, then for the left side, you have to give resisted exercises. This also will help you to enhance the right side. Is that clear? So these are the technique you will be, some more techniques are there. So these are the techniques you will do to prevent the muscle wasting. Apart from that, if the person is having spastic paralysis, then you can use this. Okay, so this is for flaccid paralysis. So to prevent flaccid paralysis, you will be using this technique. To prevent spastic paralysis, you will be using this technique. So this is called PNF. First is PNF technique, that is proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. So that is our next topic. We will be seeing in that in detail. The next is controlled sustained passive stretching. So last semester when you were learning about stretching, you would have learned something like controlled sustained passive stretching. So it is nothing but you will be doing the stretching and hold the stretching for longer time. So you can hold the stretching using any mechanical device, or you can also hold using any like splint, and you can also hold this using any POP plasters. Okay, so you will be stretching and putting a plaster or a splint to maintain the position for long time. So that is called as controlled sustained passive stretching. Then you can do passive and active mobilization along with massage and prolonged icing. So prolonged icing will help you to reduce the spasticity. Then along with that, you will be doing passive and active exercises. So these are the techniques you will do to prevent muscle wasting in case of spastic paralysis. Is that clear? Then, in case of there is any lesion to the muscle tissue, and because of that the muscle is not able to do the muscle is undergoing wasting, then you can prevent it by doing light exercises. Light exercises means active exercises. So you can prevent by doing active exercises. Then, if there is any disuse atrophy, that means without using, if you're not using the muscle for a long time, then it will undergo atrophy. That is called as disuse atrophy. So for that, you can do active exercises, isometric exercises, and resisted exercises to prevent wasting. Is that clear? So like I'll just summarize again. So you will be having reduced muscle power, or the muscle will not be whenever the muscle is not able to do the contraction, it can be because of 4 problems. One is if there is any lesion to the upper motor neuron lesion, if there is any lesion in the lower motor neuron, if there is any problem with the muscle, if the muscle is not used for a long time. So all these will end up in reduced muscle contraction or no muscle contraction. So for this problem, you have 2 main techniques. That is, first is you need to prevent the muscle wasting, because when a muscle is not used for a long time, it will end up in uh, uh, wasting of the muscle. So you have to prevent, then you have to improve the muscle power. So for prevention, for all the depends on what is the cause of the problem. According to the cause, you have to choose these techniques. So all these techniques, almost all these techniques you have already learned except your PNF. So PNF I will be teaching in the next class. Next is to initiate the muscle contraction. So what are the treatment techniques to initiate muscle contraction? One thing you will give us, you will be increasing the warmth. So you need to increase the muscle warmth so that you can get a good quality contraction. So to increase muscle warmth, you can do massage. So in massage, especially the touch and the touch, you can use touch. So that will give you good increase in the muscle warmth. Okay, so you can also do other techniques in massage, but touch is mandatory to increase the warmth of the muscle. Then you can also use hot pack that will again give you good increase in the muscle temperature. So you would have learned about theoretical hot pack. So when you come face to face, you will learn the practical aspect. Then next is stabilization. So stabilization of the muscle means like you need to stabilize, because whenever the particular muscle is weak or doesn't have any contraction, the opposite muscle group will over contract and it will lead to overstretching of the particular muscle. So to reduce that, you have to go for stabilization. So for increasing the stability of the muscle, you can give isometric contraction of the proximal and the distal joint. So this will increase the stability of the muscle. Then you can also have manual contact. This will also increase the sensory. This will give a sensory stimulation. So you can just hold it. That's why massage is helping you a lot. This hold and gripping will give you a good sensory stimulation. So whenever you touch a particular person, you their sensation will be stimulated. Same wise, when you want to have some stimulation of the sensation, you have to give a manual contact. Okay. Other than that, you can give stretching. So stretching. So when we learn stretching, we have learned something called Golgi tendon and muscle spindle. So when you are giving stretching, this will stimulate the muscle spindle and this will elicit the contraction of the affected muscle. So you can go for stretching of the affected muscle so that you get a good stimulation or contraction, initiate the contraction of the affected muscle. The next is irradiation. So irradiation is a new technique which we have not seen. Irradiation means you need to resist the normal side. So for example, when you are not able to do any movement in the right hand, what you will do immediately, you will use your left hand to do the movement, isn't it? So everybody will be doing this. So whenever they are not able to do any movement in the right hand, in the right side, if the muscle is affected, then immediately they will try to do the same movement with the left hand. So what we are going to do is, we just restrict the movement in the normal side. So when you are restricting the movement in the normal side, automatically the affected side muscle will get some contraction or some initiation. So this technique is called as irradiation technique. So for example, whenever a person is having weakness in the right side, he will be using the left side and to undo all the movement. But when you are restricting the left side, automatically right side muscle will get little bit of initiation or contraction. So this will help you to improve the muscle contraction. Okay, so this technique is called as irradiation technique. Then so initially what you do when a muscle is affected, you need to prevent the muscle atrophy. The next is you need to initiate the contraction. The next is you need to improve the muscle contraction. Is that clear? So these are the three things you are going to do. So for initiating the muscle contraction, we have seen what are the techniques. Now for increasing the muscle power, you have to do this four things. One is activation of the muscle, strengthening of the muscle, coordination of the muscle, and endurance of the muscle. So for activation of the muscle, we have two techniques. One is focusing technique, another one is proprioception technique. See, I'm not going into the theory. Theory already you would have learned from Miss Vani. Okay. So first is focusing technique. So in focusing technique, you have 5 techniques. One is passive movement. So passive movement will help you to focus the technique. Then cutaneous stimulation. So cutaneous stimulation is nothing but stroking, tapping the muscle tendon, all those things. So that is nothing but your massage. So a lot of techniques in the massage will help you to increase the cutaneous sensation, like stroking, effleurage, petrissage, then even circular kneading, everything, almost all the technique will, all the massage technique will help you to increase this cutaneous stimulation. Okay, apart from that, you can do brushing, and you can do brushing. So brushing you have to do from distal to proximal in case if the muscle is flaccid. So if the muscle is flaccid, you will be doing this brushing from distal to proximal. So when you're doing distal to proximal, you will be doing very fast. So it's a fast stroking. So you need to do the brushing very fast from distal to proximal. But if the person has spastic, then you need to do from proximal to distal in a very slow manner. Okay, so the brushing has to be done in a slow manner from proximal to distal in case if you have spasticity. Okay, same will go for cryotherapy. So you can apply ice to increase the cutaneous sensation. So this ice is applied in the method called stroking. So you have something called ice cube stroking. You would have learned in your cryotherapy. So this ice cube stroking is done from distal to proximal in a very fast manner in case if they are having flaccidity. But if they are having spasticity, then you have to do very slowly from proximal to distal. Okay, so you will be doing very slowly from proximal to distal. Is that clear? So that is your cryotherapy. So these are the techniques to increase the cutaneous sensation. So one is massage, which we have already learned. Another one is brushing. So this brushing, you can also you can use your knee hammer. If you have your knee hammer, you can just see that one behind your knee hammer, you will have some brush. So you can use that brush, or you can also use the ice cube. So ice cube stroking is done. Brushing also is done from distal to proximal for flaccid case in a very fast manner. For spastic case, it is done very slow manner from proximal to distal. Is that clear? So next technique is electrical stimulation. So this electrical stimulation will be like you would have learned in your electro. You have two types. One is denervated, another one is innervated. So in case if the muscle innervation is affected, then you have to do denervation technique, that is use galvanic technique. If the muscle has innervation or intact nerve, then you have to go for Faradic stimulation. Okay, so both you will be learning when you are coming face to face. So next is EMG and biofeedback. So this is also equipment we will be using. So here we will be connecting the muscle and connecting the muscle to a particular biofeedback and EMG equipment. So whenever they give a stimulation, automatically it will be seen in the screen, and when the patient will get a visual biofeedback, so he will be trying to do the movement more. So that is called EMG and biofeedback. So this also you will be learning in your electro. Then, so these are the five techniques you will be doing to in focusing procedure: passive movement, then cutaneous stimulation, electrical stimulation, EMG, and biofeedback. So these five techniques. The next technique to increase the muscle power is proprioception stimulation. So here for in proprioception stimulation, we have 9 techniques. The first is passive movement. So when you are giving passive movement, you will be able to initiate the proprioception. Then positioning in various attitudes. So positioning means weight bearing. So if the if you want to improve the knee proprioception, you have to make the person stand and give weight bearing to that particular muscle. Okay, so that will give you this weight bearing will help you to improve the stimulate the muscle contraction. Next is balancing exercises. So balancing in sitting, kneeling, all these will give further stimulation. So you would have learned balancing, then you would have learned mat activities. So those two will help you to increase the proprioception stimulation. Is that clear? Then weight bearing is nothing but positioning the person. Traction and approximation also you can give. That also will give you stimulate the proprioception. Then quick stretches and resistance. So all these techniques will help you to increase the proprioception of the particular joint. Is that clear? So next is how to improve the strength. So to improve the strength, according to the muscle power, you have to go. So when you want to improve the muscle strength so normally when you have muscle power more than 2 only, you will go for this stage. Till the muscle power 2, you will be you will be using all the previous stages. When you are coming to muscle power 2 to 3, then you will be coming to this particular stage. So here you will be doing resisted exercises and active resisted exercises to that particular muscle, so that the muscle power increases. Okay. The next is after the muscle power is 5. So the muscle power will increase to 5. After the muscle power increases to 5, then you have to increase their coordination. So for coordination, you have to go for Frankel's exercises. So do you remember last class, like previously, we have learned about Frankel's exercise. So you can do a lot of coordination exercises to improve the coordination. Same wise, if you want to increase the endurance, you need to do lot of strengthening exercises. But in strengthening exercises, you should not increase the weight. Instead, you need to increase the resistance. So if you increase the number of repetition, then you will be able to increase the endurance. So you have two things, strength and endurance. If you want to increase the strength, you need to do the exercises, reduce number of exercises and increase the weight. So when you increase the weight, you will be going to overloading principle, and that will help you to increase the muscle power, okay, or strength. If you want to increase the muscle endurance, then you don't need to increase the number of repetition. Instead, you don't need to increase the weight. Instead, you maintain the weight and you increase the number of repetition. So when you improve the number of repetition, automatically the endurance will increase. So everything like strength, coordination, endurance, all three will be interdependent on each other. So without the other, one single, that is strength alone cannot do anything, or endurance alone cannot do anything, or coordination alone cannot do anything. So you need to improve all three things together, so that you are able to improve the muscle performance. Is that clear? So I just summarize again before going to the example. So when a muscle is not able to contract, you need to see what is the cause of the muscle contraction. What is the cause of the problem? That is why the muscle is not able to contract. So why the muscle not able to contract? You have four causes. One is any problem with the upper motor neuron, any problem with the lower motor neuron, any problem in the muscle, any problem in the usage. If they are not using, then also the muscle will undergo wasting or reduce in muscle power. Okay. So according to the cause, you have different techniques to do. Okay, so the techniques depends on each causes. So the techniques will be like this. One is, first you use some techniques to prevent the muscle power. Then you use some techniques to initiate the muscle contraction. Then you use some techniques to improve the muscle contraction. Okay, so you use some techniques to initiate, prevent the muscle wastage. you use some techniques to initiate the muscle contraction, then you use some techniques to improve the muscle power. So for initiating the muscle contraction, so first to prevent the muscle wasting, you will be using all these techniques. So depends on the cause, you will be choosing this technique. So for flaccidity, you will use this technique. For spasticity, you will be using this technique. For muscle disease, you will be using active exercises. For muscle atrophy, you will be using active exercises, isometric exercises, and assisted exercises. Is that clear? Then next is to initiate the muscle contraction. To initiate the muscle contraction, you will be using these techniques to initiate the muscle contraction. You have 5 techniques. Then to improve the muscle contraction, you will be having 4. One is to activate the muscle, to strengthen the muscle, to improve the coordination, and to improve the endurance. So to activate the muscle, you have 2 techniques. One is focusing procedures and proprioception stimulation. So focusing principle again is 5 techniques. One is your passive movement, another one is passive movement, another one is cutaneous stimulation, electrical stimulation, biofeedback, and EMG. These are your focusing procedure. Then you have nearly 9 techniques to increase the proprioception stimulation. Okay, so this focusing procedure and proprioception stimulation are the techniques to improve the activation of the muscle. Activation of the muscle means just initiating the muscle. Sorry, not initiating, like making the muscle to contract and making the muscle to contract. So you can say that when the muscle power is 0, then you use the initiation technique. When you want to improve the muscle power to 0 to 1 or 0 to 2, then you will be using this focusing technique and proprioception technique. Is that clear? So initiation will be used when you want to improve the muscle power to 0 to 1. The next step is you need to use your focusing procedure and proprioception stimulation when you want to increase the muscle power from 1 to 2. Okay, so once the muscle power is 2, then you use the strengthening techniques to increase the muscle power to 2 to 5. So when you want to increase the muscle power 2 to 5, you can go for strengthening. Then after increasing the muscle power to 5, if you want to increase the coordination, you need to go for coordination training. Then you need to do endurance training, because strength, coordination, and endurance depends on each other. So without one, the other cannot do anything. So it is interdependent. Okay. So just an example, I have just given this. Whatever I have said, like so far, this is the example. So when you have muscle power 0, you use the initiation technique to improve the muscle power. When you improve the muscle power 0 to 1, then you can use the focusing procedure and proprioception procedure. Okay, then when you want to increase the muscle power from 1 to 2 or 2 to 3, then you have the strengthening techniques. So in strengthening technique, depending on the muscle power you will be using. So when the muscle power is 0, then you will be using isometric exercises. That is also called as static exercises. When the muscle power is 2, then you go for active assisted exercises, suspension, shoulder, inactive assisted exercises. Assisted exercises is nothing but suspension, shoulder wheel, finger ladder, bicycle ergometer. All these are your active assisted exercises. Then you can go for PNF technique. Once the muscle power is 3, then you will be going for active exercises through hydrotherapy, pulley, weight slings, biofeedback. Then you can also go for assisted exercises and assisted exercises to increase the muscle power. Is that clear? So this particular topic, we will not be able to show you some videos, because this is a combination of your complete therapeutic skills 1 and 2. So I cannot show you videos on this. So I will, like, in the next class we will have tutorials and we will discuss this in detail. Okay, so with the help of tutorial we will discuss in detail. Then later when you come for your review classes, then we will uh, again I'll show you, demonstrate practically how to do this techniques. Because like almost all the techniques you have are whichever you have learned already. Is that clear? So I cannot show you videos, that's why I didn't put any videos. So through tutorials you will get little more clear picture. So for next class we will have the tutorials. So to have more clear picture, maybe we will take one muscle as an example, and I'll be able to tell you the techniques how to do it. Okay. So do you have any question? Okay, so only 39 students have attended the class. So class rep, if possible, uh, you just let me know who were absent. I think nearly 6 students are absent, and many came at the last time. Okay, so if no doubt, then we will end up the class because I need to rush back to admin building for the meeting. Okay, so thank you. See you on Monday at 11 o'clock.